Magic round this week. It's going to be the talk of the weekend. We might be down there. We'll see how we go. It's going to be, again, they're calling it the dads on tour because it's an excuse for the dads to get away from the family, go down there with their mates. It's pretty much the dad schoolies. That's what they're calling it on social media. But it's always makes for great footy. Fans get around it down Caxton Street in Brisbane. So we're going to go through our Magic Round tips and picks. You can take a look at our tips online at Jon-Bernard K or at Picklebet. We'll be putting out our multi each week. But Jaden, let's go through Magic Round and see where we're going this week.
Yeah, so obviously this week all games are played at Suncorp, so no home and away teams. So we've got opening up Friday night, 6 p.m. game, Bulldogs versus Canberra.
Bulldogs coming off a win. Canberra getting emotional last week off their win. I don't think there's many bigger ins and outs. Kyle Flanagan's still going to be in New South Wales Cup.
I think Bulldogs, yes, they got the win last week, but they won't be good enough to beat Canberra. Canberra were good in the first half last week, lacklustre in the second half. So I'll take Canberra here.
And it's a very short turnaround for the Bulldogs as well. They played a Sunday game. Now they're going to be playing Friday night in Brisbane as well. So I'm going to go Canberra as well.
Xavier Savage, back from his broken jaw, suffered in the trials. He's been named on the wing, but most likely you'd end up throwing him at fullback with Chris going back into the centres.
Richard's taken the Bulldogs as
I don't know why my dad's taken the Bulldogs. Yeah. Usually he hates them and doesn't tip them. But it's another thing. I'm just going to increase my lead in tipping. Okay,
Manly versus the Broncos again. Is that Friday night clash as well?
Friday night clash.
So Manly Broncos, look, with Turbo there, Turbo back, no Schuster as well.
No Schuster.
Jake Trbojevic also out.
Again, you got to think Suncorp Stadium. They're going to have that hometown advantage. I'm going Brisbane.
You know what the dumbest thing here is? This is categorised as a Manly home game.
Doesn't make sense.
This is so slack. How do you verse Brisbane
at Suncorp as a home game?
So just on that, they're not losing at Suncorp. I'll take Brisbane here, probably comfortably.
You and I are taking the Broncos. Richard's
he's taking Broncos.
He's taking Broncos. Late change in the tip.
Late change.
Ezra Mam and Payne Haas also both back.
That's massive.
Yeah. Next were Warriors versus Penrith. Will Penrith lose 3 in a row?
I can't see Penrith losing 3 in a row.
I don't want to make it a thing of tipping against the Warriors each and every week.
We are getting rinsed on social media because we consistently go against the Warriors. We were right to do it last week. The Roosters didn't let them score a try.
I've been right the last 2 weeks in a row.
Where we got it wrong was the Cowboys going up to New Zealand. We shouldn't have backed the Cowboys. In hindsight, the Cowboys are absolute garbage this season. They can't string a good half of footy together.
Both of these teams are coming off 2 losses as well, so it's.
I think you back the more
I
take
Penrith
team.
Coming off 2 losses as opposed to Warriors.
I don't think you can back top teams to lose 3 games in a row. And I think Penrith here, not desperate for a win, but they just want to prove a point, and they'll probably win comfortably as well.
I guess we'll see. I bet you Penrith will be featuring in your multi this week because you get them at a good rate.
I think that's falling at $1.40. So for them to be in my multi is a guarantee.
Who do we got next?
Next game, Sharks versus Dolphins.
I'm going Cronulla, keeping the momentum up. Nico Hines looking to get into that Origin team. The Dolphins can't play a good first half of footy.
Yeah.
So I'm going with how Cronulla have been playing. Good brand of footy. Craig Fitzgibbon coming out this week and saying he's going to rein some players in as well that have gone a bit too out. I'm going to take Ronaldo again to get into the corner. So I'm going Cronulla.
Yeah, I think Dolphins haven't been good against average opposition, so they're not going to be that good against the Sharks. It's a Sharks from everyone here.
This is probably the toughest game of the round.
Yeah, next game, Melbourne versus the Rabbitohs.
Storm Rabbitohs. I'm going to go the Rabbitohs.
I think this is a tough one to pick because Storm aren't full strength and the Rabbitohs are.
But they had the week off with the bye.
But they've had the week off, and I think they beat them already this year. Storm have beat the Rabbitohs, so I'm going to take the Storm to beat them twice this year. I just think Rabbitohs are on too big of a high. They're due for a loss, and Melbourne's, I think, due for a good game against a big team. I'll take Money Munster for a try and Melbourne to win. I'm
going the Rabbitohs strictly to compete with you in the tips. But also, I just think they can keep the momentum up. Latrell's playing a good brand of footy. He's been their spark at the back. It's taken 2-3 players to get him down on the line. Damien Cook as well, out of dummy half, showing some really good spark. He's a shoo-in for an Origin selection. I don't know if he comes in off the bench, but I'm going to go the Rabbitohs this week.
Dad's taken the Storm as well, so he's tipped with me.
Okay. Next game of the round in the Tigers versus Dragons.
I'm going to go Tigers to go back-to-back. Do you remember last season when Jackson Hastings kicked the field goal and there was that game where they had just missed out on winning and scraping a win and they won the following week?
Yeah.
I think they're going to back it up and they're going to win 2 in a row here.
I think loser maybe could be odds-on favourite to win the wooden spoon.
100%.
So I think Dragons dropping Lomax and Jacob Little is very stupid. I don't understand that. I think it's Anthony Griffin being desperate. Probably not the right time to discipline players, but I'll take the Dragons here strictly because I don't think the Tigers have a good lineup. Yes,
Okay.
they've been playing well, but I think just Brandon Wakeham at 5'8" just doesn't do it for me. I just don't think they've got they don't have the squad to win consistently. So
Well,
I'll take the
it'll
Dragons.
be either team 1 to 12, and my call, and you can clip this up to go out next week, is West Tigers win this game. Anthony Griffin gets sacked on the Monday after.
And that probably should happen if you lose to the Tigers.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Next game, we've got Roosters versus Cowboys. Are Cowboys going to find some form, or are they?
I think
Is
they'll
there
be
a
dead
cross
for
through their
bit.
name?
They'll be dead for a bit. Maybe post-Origin they'll
Chad
find form.
Townsend in or out?
Chad Townsend named.
So I don't know. It's in Brisbane.
Just Nanai's out.
Nanai's out. Yeah, I'm gonna go
Well, unless
against
they
the
can,
Cowboys. I can't tip him.
unless they can score 3 tries on Drew Hutchinson playing centre, maybe they're a chance. But I'll take the Roosters, and Dad's taking Roosters.
I'm
as well.
going the Roosters, and Sam Walker still to be omitted from the team the following week.
Last game of the round is Gold Coast versus Parramatta.
This is an extremely tough game. I think Gold Coast are a good team and can cause an upset here.
Yeah, but with AJ Brimson out, I'm
That's-
going Parramatta.
Ryan Madison back.
I think Parramatta are putting together a good string of games. They're probably one of the informed teams at the moment. Winning last week against the Knights very convincingly was nice to see. I'll take them on the back of that to win here as well. So I'll take the Eels, and Dad's taking the Eels as well.
Yeah, I'm taking Eels in a 13+ comfortable win.
I would
But-
like to highlight, though, updated tipping standings.
Yep.
So I've tipped 48 from 72. Bernard, you've tipped 42, and Dad's tipped 42. So I'm 6
Jeez.
ahead.
Yeah, and loser of the tips does have to get a full body 40-year-old virgin wax on camera for content. So stay tuned for those results. I'm going to catch up to him, and we're going to count Origin games as well. But the Newcastle Knights getting a bye this year. They're the first team to miss out on Magic Round. Pretty rough for them. Everyone wants to be a part of Magic Round and the hype around it. It's also been talks of which teams would be going to Las Vegas when they do it next year. Apparently, the Manly Seagulls are guaranteed, and the South Sydney Rabbitohs are guaranteed as well.
They've said that because
Roosters will be there as well.
I think Roosters have to be there as well with the star power, but they've got that there because Russell Crowe will go up there with the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and Hugh Jackman goes up there with the Manly Seagulls. So who are the next two teams? Melbourne have put a bidding as well. So that's going to be
I think it's
interesting.
going to be Melbourne and the Roosters. Or Penrith.
I
That's
think
it.
they're really talking this into existence, and pull my arm, we're going to have to go to Vegas and watch the NRL there, boys.
I mean, I'm not going to be opposed to it. I
Yeah.
just don't see the reason for it.
Surely you just go the top 4 or something, like something that just
Nah.
makes
Provide
sense
some
in
sort of
terms
incentive
quality
to
you
Yeah,
want the
rugby league.
biggest fan bases going there, the teams that are going to make a trip out of it, and the teams that are going to provide the most star power.
It's just the teams with the biggest degenerate fans to,
Yeah.
to head over to Vegas.
Exactly right.
I think that's why you got to put the Roosters in there because they're
Now-
the most cash.